Hey there, how's it going? My name is Josh. Thanks for checking out my video. If you're new here, I make videos about overlanding, off-roading, Tacomas, my Land Cruiser, cars, guns sometimes, camping, hiking, mountain biking, I don't know, all that fun stuff. If that is of interest to you, definitely consider hitting the subscribe button, hitting a thumbs up on my video, and yeah, I appreciate the support. Reach out to me, hit me up in the comments, follow me on Instagram. If you're into stuff, I'll check out your photos and videos. So this is my 2019 Tacoma. It's had a lot of work done to it in the last year. You can see my mountain bike peeking up over the top and the gazelle tent on the side. This video is about my new, well, they're about 8 months old now, but my new rack system specifically designed to work with my Diamondback bed cover. I have the SE model. The SE has fewer support beams going across, so it has a lighter load capacity. I think Diamondback claims 400 haul capacity. I assume that's their dynamic weight limit. I think the static weight limit's probably around 500 or 600 pounds. So that may limit what type of stuff you can put on top. If you have an ATV or something heavy, I would definitely go with the HD model, because that's going to give you, I think, up to like 600 or 700 pounds of hauling load. Don't quote me on that, but I think it's quite a bit higher than what the SE offers. The racks that I have on there, though, will work with either model, so that's kind of a benefit. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at those. But I first just want to say thank you to Greg at PakRax for taking the time and having me come to his shop, work through this design. It was just an incredible experience to see someone with that kind of craft to think it, see it, design it, cut it, sandblast it, powder coat it, bake it all in one shop while I was there, and put it on the truck. And that's exactly what happened. And I was just totally blown away with all of the different tools that he had, and all the, I don't know, I don't have any like machinist skills or anything like that. So when I see somebody else's craft, it really does blow me away. But it was neat to see it happen right here in the US, a US made product. By a guy who's a self-made guy, built his business from the ground up, and I'm really happy to work with him. I'm really happy to support this product. So let's go over to the side and I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. All right, so as you can see, I have the PakRax bed racks on. I actually don't know the official name yet, because I don't know if there is one. The product is going to be going for sale, and I believe the price point's going to be around 500 bucks. So stay tuned. In the future, we might have some discount codes and things like that, but I think that's about where the price point is going to be for those that just want to know, hey, cool racks, how much are they? I don't know the exact price, but I think they're going to be around $489, $499. So as you can see, I've got pretty basic setup as far as the racks go. You have brackets and your crossbars. Now, these brackets utilize the pre-existing holes that were already here for one set of cleats, and then I had the other set of cleats that came with my Diamondback bed cover, which were designed to be able to put on, I guess, anywhere I wanted to. I know on the HD, they come with another cleat here, and I think one here. The difference between the SE and the HD, for those that are not familiar with the Diamondback bed covers, the HD has an additional cross beam, one on each panel, to give it more stability, or more strength, I should say, for when you're putting things on top. So if you're gonna be driving around with like an ATV and stuff, like a lot of weight on top, you definitely wanna go with the HD. But this rack system is designed to work with both. So I had the opportunity to go down and meet Greg at PakRax and talk through this design, and he made them in the shop, from kind of prototype, designing on his CAD system, laser cutting, I may be using the wrong terminology, but sandblasting, powder coat, and all that all happened in one day under one roof. The guy is just super talented. He makes other bed rack systems for other vehicles, I think the Gladiator, Fords, Toyotas, and this is going to be specific to the Diamondback bed cover because of the design. Works with the geometry of the angle. So what I'll do is I'll come on, bring the camera over a little bit closer so you can kind of see exactly what I'm talking about. So the bed cover has this angle to it, and the bracket is actually angled with it. This is 1/4 inch steel, and it's incredibly strong. I have had quite a few trips on with these racks on with my CVT tent. I have the heavier CVT tent with the steel diamond plate reinforced floor, which is overkill in my opinion, but that's the one I went with. And it weighs about 120 pounds or so. And I've done a lot of off-roading, cross-country trip with it here to Florida and back, and haven't had any issues. It's been incredibly strong and it hasn't loosened up. So, or creaked or make any sounds at all. I really enjoy it. So the bracket is angled with the bed and then comes up straight, and then it has about a 3/4 to a 1 inch metal plate that it sits on that's welded to the side of the bracket. And so the bar, it sits in kind of snug, so the bars are kind of like they're pushed into each other, which creates a really rigid platform on both the rear and the front. So main reason I switched to something, or wanted something to work with the Diamondback bed cover. And there are other options out there. Front Runner has an option to put like the tracks on and the 3 bars going across. That's probably a pretty good solution as well. So that's kind of a cool option with the Front Runner. This is a little bit different. I know with the Front Runner, you can also do like 2 or 3 bars, depending upon how much, I guess, weight you're gonna put up there. I just need the 2 bars, but I wanted something that was kind of stretched to the sides, not putting anything through the top of the bed cover. Though I did have to drill some additional holes for this cleat, which I already had this hardware from the bed cover anyways. They sent me 4 additional cleats to put anywhere, so I just basically drilled those holes out. But I can leave these racks on all the time and still utilize the functionality of the bed cover. I also have the cross bin from Diamondback, which I'll show you in just a second here. So you may or may not, if you have a Diamondback bed cover, may or may not have this or use it, but essentially it's just an aluminum cross bin that is removable. You just lift it out, it's just not bolted in. And I use it for recovery gear, tools, things like that. Also throwing groceries and drinks and beer, whatever in here when I'm grocery shopping, so stuff doesn't slide around in the back. So if I had my old racks on, I wouldn't be able to open the bed cover, which kind of made it just single-use purpose for just camping pretty much, and to be able to install my rooftop tent. And I wasn't really happy that I had to remove the bars all the time if I wanted to use my bed cover as intended. So this definitely filled that gap for me, where I still get really strong, incredibly well crafted, brackets. It was neat to see Greg build these in his shop. And if you see underneath, I'll try to reduce my exposure here. Oops, sorry, I've got ND filter on and I'm trying to beat the sun, or trying not to be overpowered by the sun. It's midday. So you can see this piece here comes all the way over, and then this top bracket sits on it. And then on each side, we have 3 bolts on top. So the entire hardware list would be, 4 bolts that are holding each bracket on each side, 3 bolts on the top that are attached to the bracket. Works out really well, and you can remove them pretty easily. I've taken them off once and then put them back on just to make sure everything was copacetic. But other than that, just to make sure there was no flexing or cracks or anything, because these bed covers are aluminum. They're not super heavy duty, at least mine isn't. You can tell I just have the 1 crossbar here. I just wanted to make sure that there was no issues. So we also designed these back brackets because the hardware for the cleats already comes with the washer and the nut. So he made this for me, which just gives it a little bit more rigidity on the back, and just keeps it really well mounted when not putting any direct stress just from the bolt or the washer. So that's been working out great. Again, I haven't had any issues, none, 0. And I really like the utility that the racks give me, because they are a little bit higher. So from the base of the bed cover, or from the top of it, I should say, to the bottom of the racks is about 7.5 inches. 7.5 inches. And that just happens to be perfect enough to fit gear like gazelle tents straight through. So did a couple of trips this summer with my my family, nephews and nieces, and we needed extra tents. So I had to haul a lot of gear. And with the rooftop tent on top, I'm able to still put things like gazelle tents through here. I actually had 3. We have 2 T4s and this T3 right here. And then I basically just, you know, run a bungee cord through here, strap it to the cleats, and it's not going anywhere. I had 3 gazelle tents and I think 5 or 6 camping chairs lined across the top. And that freed up all the space in the back to utilize for all of our gear. So, you know, a major benefit from the upgrade, the change from the Voodoo bars, is I can fit a lot more stuff underneath. The KB Voodoo bars I had were, I want to say maybe about 3 or 4 inches. So it was just high enough to be able to get my hands underneath to tighten stuff down, but I couldn't really use it for sliding anything underneath of it like this large a diameter. So that was always kind of a letdown. Again, you know, there's other options. It's just that this is what I had before, and now these racks that I've been running from PakRax give me a couple of things. Also, I wanted to elevate my tent a little bit higher so that when I used the annex, it wasn't just draped down, sitting on the ground. I actually had more area because I'm able to get the tent much higher up. And then I also, on my previous racks, had my little DIY bike rack, which I transferred over to this, and that's been working out really well. All right, so you can see my DIY bike rack that I have here. This Yakima bike tray I picked up for $5, used at a bike shop, and then I just cut it, and it's already equipped with a T-slot. So I just slid a T-nut down, and then I have a plastic hand crank nut to make that type. That makes it easy to take off as well. And then up front, just got a through fork mount for it, and that's been working out really well. I think it sits up a little high, but that's just because the racks are, like I said, 7.5 inches off the bed, and got a 3-inch lift on the truck. So yeah, it's gonna sit up a little bit high, but I like that I can have this on with my rooftop tent. There's enough room width-wise, and then if I want to have other stuff, I can just take the bike rack off, and I can put an easy up or 2 and stack them up on top of the racks, and that's worked out really well. So really like the versatility. If you see there's some holes drilled in here, that was me. Greg, if you're watching this, don't be mad. I was fabbing up like a little mount system for my roto packs, and it did work out okay, but I was told that it made it look like a lifeguard truck, and then that's all I could see, and all I could think of was Hasselhoff, man, you know. So I had to take that off. I'll drop a photo of that over. So I'm always just messing with stuff. I'm just constantly trying to figure out different ways to create efficiencies with my setup, and that was a fail. So right now I just have them strapped to the top of the Prinzi rack, and I do have the Rotopack mounts, but I'm gonna figure something else out for down the road. So pretty much what you'd expect. It has the slots that go all the way down the center, a couple of breaks here, obviously, and you can just drop your bolts down for your rooftop tent, and you've got plenty of space to have your wrench under here and tighten everything down. That was a little bit of a functional complaint I had with the Voodoo crossbars, was that they were really low, so it was really kind of challenging to get a socket wrench with a 1/2-inch driver or a socket up there, and scraping your knuckles on the bed cover texture is not fun when you're cranking it down. You know, again, it's not the end of the world. It's just, you know, anything that makes your life a little more convenient and faster, it makes it more enjoyable to do those things. So yeah, that's on the front and back, and that's what I've utilized for my makeshift bike rack system here. So yeah, not a whole lot otherwise to discuss. I just wanted to talk about these racks specifically, as I know they're about to go on the market, and that way people have some reference point. if you have a Diamondback bed cover, this might be a good option for you. If you want the ability to have racks on all the time, still open your bed cover, still have your racks on if you decide to go to Home Depot or Lowe's and get a couple sheets of plywood or anything, you've always got your racks on and smooth surface to strap them down. One thing I forgot to mention is each bar has 3 holes. I've been using them for when I'm strapping stuff down to have my bungee hooks go in there. So you do have a couple of options for straps and hooking them to or a bungee cord or something like that. So that's kind of a neat feature. But yeah, that's the rack system I've been using. I've been really happy with it. I would totally endorse this product, and like I said, I'm always looking to improve. I'm actually looking at having 2 different systems. I want a little bit more of a modular system. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm actually in the process of building a garage right now, and basically I'm just going to keep these racks on here, and I can take the panels off, leave the racks on, and then have a different modular bed rack system for a different type of long trip setup. This is great for everyday life and weekend warrior type stuff, but I want something that I have more room in the back. And so I'm talking to Greg about his modular rack system, and I kind of was thinking, oh wow, that'd be easy to have two systems, and this is easy enough because the Diamondback bed cover, it's really easy to come apart. There's 4 brackets underneath. You loosen those up, you lift up the panel, and they literally slide right out, and it's 3 different sections. So I really like that. I like quick and easy, and I like that I don't have to take things apart and put them back together other than just dropping the brackets in. So I'll update you. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do on that, but I've been really loving this setup, and it's worked really well for me. If you have any questions at all, just drop them down in the comments below. If you want to get your hands on these racks as soon as possible, I've been told you can just go ahead and call Eric at State 48 directly, which is just 833-STATE-48. I'll have the phone number down below, and you can also just email them, admin@state48overland.com. The products aren't actually on the website yet. They're still working out, all the logistics of that. But I've been told that if you contact them directly, if you want to get your hands on these, like I said, price is gonna be around $489, $499 in that ballpark. Just hit them up directly. I'll have all the contact information. If you like this video, you like this type of stuff, definitely hit the subscribe button and the bell notification if you want to be notified when I upload a new video, which hopefully will be on a more regular basis. I've had a little gap here in the last 6 weeks, but I got another overland trip coming up this weekend. We're going to be doing, well, I won't tell you, but I'll just show you afterwards. I don't want anybody stalking me or something weird. But I think there's going to be 12 rigs. We're going to do a couple different trails, and should be a good time. So I'm looking forward to that. If you have any questions about my truck, I'm going to be doing more videos on this, but anything specifically, just hit me in the comments or follow me on Instagram. I do respond to my DMs as long as it's not spam. And I just want to give a huge thank you to Greg at PakRax for taking the time to work through this design and give me the opportunity to really try them out, take them off-road, just try to beat the hell out of them. I've done worse. I'm drilling holes through them and all sorts of stuff, but I just want to say thank you. The guy's just really talented at his craft, and I was really impressed to see the process of the design and the cutting, sandblasting, the powder coat, baking, and all of that, and it come together and being on my truck for the last, well, better part of almost 8 months now, and just really, really happy to be a part of that whole process. So definitely, I'll have a link to his website and his Instagram as well, and the products are going to be sold directly through State 48 Overland. So yeah, hope that was helpful. If those interested in racks for your Diamondback bed cover, and until next time, I'll catch you guys later. Thanks.